streaming on YouTube. This just gets us to start connecting to YouTube.
Okay.
And then on YouTube, okay, we appear to be live.
Live.
I think we're not unique in the fact that I think most live streams start a little bumpy like this.
This isn't a live stream.
Yes, it is. It's got the indicator.
Look at where you're at. Look at where I'm at.
Oh, there's a couple seconds lag. I think. Not much, but a little. So, okay, everyone. And by everyone, I mean currently all 0 of you. We hope more come in as we go. It looks like we do have one person in here now. Welcome.
Welcome.
Leave us a comment. We're here to cover the F-150 launch event live. I'm Mike with EV in the Sticks.
I'm Morgan, and I'm with EV in the Sticks.
I think we're really just looking to have a great time today. We're going to talk about electric vehicles. We're going to talk about the F-150 Lightning and everything going on there. We're going to talk about how you can go EV in the Sticks, where the F-150 fits into that. And we're probably going to steer a little bit into some EV gossip, maybe cover Elon Musk action, talk a little about Tesla while we get warmed up for the big event today.
And we'll talk about other things, like we're both in lineups and have vehicles reserved, and we're experience a lot of things that are going on right now.
Yeah, we both are reservation holders at Deers Ford in Fremont, Nebraska. So I wanted to give Deers Ford in Fremont, Nebraska a big shout out. They're fantastic. And Graham over there is taking care of us. We're looking forward to them getting their mannequin because it's probably going to be a little while before we actually get our trucks.
Realize I was number 3 on the list at our dealership, and he was number 6 on the list. We're now on the list for the 23 model.
Absolutely. We did both keep our reservations, though, even though the vehicle sold out before the 22. We just want to make sure that we cover all things F-150 related.
It's the first thing out there since the Rivian that is actually doable, or actually most coveted to have in the Sticks. It's a truck. It's got power. It's a truck, and that's what people want. And so yeah, it's fine and dandy. They make super hot cars or whatever. They go fast, but this is a truck. It's like, that's all I've had for a lot of years, so I want a truck.
Trucks are important, especially for people out in the Sticks. We don't use trucks to drive around the city for some time. We use trucks because we actually need them when you live out here. We just had a massive windstorm, and to clean all that up took a pretty big dually out at the church. So these are things we care about a lot. And if the EV revolution is going to be as great as we all hope it will be,
it's got to have the truck.
Getting trucks online is going to be an absolute must. So we appreciate you joining us. We hope that you stick around with us today as we sort of talk and have a great time getting ready for the big event. So what do you think Jim Farley and Ford have in store for us with this F-150 launch event today?
Well, I think with this F-150 launch event, you're going to see, I don't know what they're going for. I know they're wanting to see these trucks loaded out of the plant, I think, on trucks, just to indicate that they're going to customers. Maybe more. Well, they got something big planned because they've been planning this for a while.
Only about 2 weeks was when the announcement came out anyway for this one. But it's just a situation where anything can happen. It says that they're celebrating Job 1 What I don't know is I don't know if
What job?
job one means the first truck or if there's a whole group of trucks that are coming out today. Are we going to actually watch these get delivered to customers like we did when the Model S came out, or the refreshed Model S came out from Tesla? Are we going to get to see both of those things, or are we just at the plant seeing some trucks roll off the line? I know that deliveries are supposed to be starting imminently. I believe today, possibly, with this reveal event. Hope they get that okay to sell designation, and I hope that's what they're sharing. But also, Farley indicated that there were going to be new features revealed about the truck today as well.
Oh,
so it's going to be really, really exciting to see what happens. Now, if we just let's see here. Give me just a second.
Before we cover that, Michael, let's talk a little bit about some EV gossip.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of it around right
Here's
now.
one that I'm thinking. Tesla has the Cybertruck coming, but the plant he built for Cybertruck is doing something different. What's going on?
Well, now, it's important to note that he always said both Model Ys and Cybertrucks would be produced at Giga Austin. But the thing of it is, all that's being produced there right now is Model Ys. And more concerning yet is there seems to be no fitting happening on any of the lines for any imminent Cybertruck production happenings, not even pre-production. My takeaway from this, I don't believe that Cybertruck is coming out anytime soon. And a lot of people say that, so that's not like, oh, shocker, Cybertruck's not coming out tomorrow. But the thing that is a little bit surprising for some people is that I would bet that the Silverado EV, which was announced a full 2.5 years after the Cybertruck, my belief is that the Silverado EV will make deliveries in 2024 before Cybertruck even has pre-production up. Mark my words, you heard it here at EV in the Sticks first. I believe that Cybertruck is being listed as sort of a lost project for Tesla and not an ongoing concern. So I hope nobody minds. We're going to be live for a long time, so I'm going to go ahead and keep putting away some of my Monster here.
Yeah, me too. I'm drinking my Monsters and trying to watch our comments and live chats and what's going on. So as
okay.
All right, so we're talking about Elon Musk and this Cybertruck. I don't even know if that's going to continue to be a business priority to him at all because he's getting his hands in some other pies.
The problem is he's going to have a cash flow problem if he truly cancels the project. A lot of people put down their $100, et cetera, et cetera. So they're sitting on whatever cash was produced by that, and that cash would have to be returned to customers if they officially cancel. So what I look for is no official cancellation, but waiting an extremely long time and just continuously putting it on the back burner to the point where I'm not sure I'm entirely convinced that it's coming. I guess if I were a betting man, I would say it's probably coming, but I would say don't expect a Cybertruck within a year.
Well, I know this is going on with Farley. He come out and he said, this is the quote. He says, the F-150 is the first full-size electric truck to hit the market.
What about Rivian?
What about Rivian? But if you listen to what Farley said, he said, we're the first. Rivian is only a mid-sized truck, even though it's got 14,000 pounds of towing capacity.
That's what happens. But the Rivian is physically smaller than the F-150. They both seat 5, but presumably it would be a lot more comfortable to seat 5 that way. So I see somebody else has popped into the live stream to hear us talk about the F-150 Lightning.
Drop a comment. Tell us who you are.
Tell us who you are, what you want us to cover. As far as the F-150 Lightning, we were sort of comparing the Rivian and why the F-150 Lightning can still claim to be the first full-size electric truck. The Rivian, of course, being smaller, is considered a mid-size truck, but it actually has some stats that are better. But if you're somebody who wants just more cargo room, I think the F-150 is still the pick. But the utility of the Rivian is likely better. But frankly, the utility of the Rivian should be better for the prices you're going to pay. On this channel, we covered a story about Rivian when they did when they had that price increase, and they were at first going to apply that to current reservation holders, which just sounds really low to us. And they ended up changing that to saying, okay, if you already hold or already have it on order, you're fine. It's only going to apply to people ordering later than this date. But they just rose the price. That's a $100,000 truck at the lower end.
And yeah, it's definitely a expensive truck, and all the trucks are kind of expensive. You're $70,000 for a long-range battery F-150.
So we have Morgan Peterson chiming in the comments. That would be this guy, welcoming everyone. We're leaving comments ourselves. We're trying to get you folks to see what we're doing and to go ahead and react. Let us know what you want us to talk about, because we still have an hour before this event. And I think this is going to be a really great event. But we have the timer up right here. Give me just a second. So the official timer says 50 minutes and 43 seconds. So we've got a lot of time to fill. We want to cover everything that people out in the sticks need to know about electric vehicles. And I want to make sure to remind everybody to subscribe to our channel for this kind of content.
Well, I'm out here and I'm thinking that when you talk about EV in the sticks, this is the stuff I wanted to do when we talked about it. I want my truck, and I want to be able to pull my boat, my camper, go fishing. Getting deliveries is very exciting to me. I want to be able to start covering how we use these things in the sticks. I think it's going to be awesome.
I want my truck, and I want it now.
I want my truck, and I want it now.
The problem with me wanting my truck and wanting it right now is that I'm not getting my truck right now. 2022 sold out, and for 2023s, I'm still 4 people deep at our dealership.
I'm number one.
This guy, however, will be number 1, but for the next model year. So he's probably going to get one soon, and that's real exciting for him. For me, I want my truck. I want it now. I know all you folks are going to want to say that too. But if you stick with this channel, what we're going to do is we are going to switch straight to Ford's live streamed event for this when the time comes, so that we can watch it together. And then after we watch whatever Jim Farley, Ford, Bill Ford, and all of those guys have to tell us, then we're going to recap it all on this channel. So we encourage you to stick with it. We're not going to interrupt the live stream. We're going to be watching on pins and needles just like you are. We just wanted to kind of warm up, talk about the EV space a little bit ahead of time, and then be able to convert after to some commentary.
Yeah, we want to talk about well, EV in the sticks is all about what's happening today. We're changing lifestyles. Things are coming in fast. We're looking to get these trucks, but in the EV news, there's a couple other things that are happening. The chip shortage.
Yeah,
all we can do is spot rumors on this.
Let me read you an article. I'll cite my source here in just a second. You'll have to be patient with me.
All right. Well, while we're keeping up with this, there's been a definite change in the status of the chip shortage, and what we're going to do is show you some possibilities of the future. I don't know what's going to actually happen, but we got ideas of what we think is going to happen.
Absolutely. Give me just a second. I read an incredible article.
Okay, this article's...
All right, this is from Reuters. And Reuters said that chip price drop raises questions on whether the end of the shortage is in sight. Reuters reads, April 25th, a sharp drop in graphic chip prices could presage an unexpectedly quick ending to a global chip crunch that has crippled manufacturing from smartphones to cars, and the issue will be central one for companies reporting results this week. As Intel, Qualcomm, and others report, investors will weigh how dampened consumer spending from inflation, China's COVID lockdown, and Russia's invasion of Ukraine will balance out supply chain blockages for microchips. The trigger is a drop in prices for GPUs, or graphic processing units, which are the brains of gaming machines and other uses. Analysts at Baird recently downgraded GPU maker NVIDIA to neutral after prices dropped. So far this year, NVIDIA stock is down roughly 31%, and rival Advanced Micro Devices AMD has fallen about 37%. GPU prices are still being sold at a premium, but a smaller premium. Susquehanna analyst Richard Rowland earlier this month said that the markup over manufacturer suggested retail price has fallen to 41% from 77%. So we're seeing smaller chip premiums. The smaller chip premiums could be indicating that the supply crunch is lifting. Here's my question. Does this necessarily mean an increase in inventory at the dealer level?
I think that the inventory at current car dealerships is in a very different state. In the last 6 years, things have changed immensely in the automotive industry. We live in Nebraska, and just down the road and a couple towns over is Blair, Nebraska, which is the #1 truck sales in the world. And when you go,
I'm not sure if that's a true statement.
I hear it in their advertisements. So
because truth in advertising.
In advertisement. Yeah, I got my 150.
For sure, it's the #1 in the region. And the thing you should know about that is they have an area they call Truck Mountain that hasn't had very many trucks on it lately.
Yeah, 6 years ago, this Truck Mountain would have had, thousands of brand new trucks sitting up on it ready for people to come in and buy one. Well, it doesn't have any up there no more. Why?
How many trucks have you bought from Truck Mountain?
Oh, how many trucks have I bought from Truck? Let's just say I bought a lot of my F-150s from Truck Mountain. That's just happened. It just was a thing. And you can't walk in on a lot and buy one new now. That's just, they have learned in this chip shortage that they don't have to mass produce these cars in advance anymore. We can build them on demand, and then we could charge full price for every one and not have a New Year's sale and all this stuff. If you don't order it and pay for it, it don't come.
So I apologize for wanting to do this. I'm not trying to artificially inflate views, but I am going to log in on my phone here and make sure the audio is working and everything. Because we still haven't gotten any comments. We need to have audience participation, and we'll cover what you ask us to cover. But it does look like the chip shortage is winding down. So I'm going into YouTube now. I'm going to just check the audio real quick.
Okay, so as we're talking about the F-150s coming out, I'm excited to see what's coming out. New features from Farley. What kind of new features are coming on this truck? And also, we now have the opportunity that there might be some for sale. Big secret. There's web pages out there that you could look up to see if one's for sale. Now, this isn't going to happen until after deliveries. But if somebody says, well, that's not the color I wanted, I don't want that truck, they reject the purchase, they can't get the financing, something happens, that truck's still getting sold. So I imagine there's going to be some trucks out there for sale in a week or so.
Audio is working. This means there's no excuse for the 3 people who have been viewing this video to not pop into the comments and let us know what you want to cover. What's your wish list of features for the F-150? Let us know. So I know one feature that I really hope it has. Heat pump.
All right, heat pump. The heat pump. My Chevy Bolt doesn't have a heat pump.
No, it doesn't. But Teslas are coming out with heat pumps. The big news today is that General Motors is going to be using a heat pump on all of their Ultium platform vehicles. So that Ultium platform, if it's everything they've been bragging it up to be, it will be pretty awesome.
They're trying to imitate some other technology in the process too, pulling heat right off the batteries and stuff from the heater.
Which reminds me, so let's talk a little bit about heat pump technology. Please don't kick that. So
Did I kick something?
In heat pump technology, you are taking whatever heat energy is in the air around and you're using it to heat an indoor space. It's been used on homes. So even though it's 30 degrees out, there's enough heat energy in the air that you can pump it and use it.
Yeah, it's the way an air conditioner works, that it actually pulls cold air out of the hot air outside through an evaporation system. But if you've ever been around an air conditioner, you know that on the outside unit, it's blowing hot air out. On the inside, it's blowing you cold air. Well, a heat pump does that in reverse. It blows hot air on the inside and cold air on the out. It's basically pulling the heat in from the outside. But it only works up to a certain degree, the way I understand heat pumps. But they're coming out with only heat pumps in some of these cars. I don't know what the difference in their technology is, or if there is a difference.
So that's one thing I want to bring up. So when it gets really, really cold, the heat pump in your house doesn't work. Well, Canadian Tesla owners have a lawsuit against Tesla because their heat pumps aren't working in Canada. Of course, Canada's a little colder than it is here in Nebraska.
It beats us by a few degrees.
And frankly, we complain about the cold here in Nebraska a lot too.
And people send their cattle south to Nebraska for our mild winters. But I got news.
Mild winters. Anyway, but Canada is even worse, is my point.
Yes.
And Canadian Tesla owners have sued Tesla because the heat pumps are failing in Canada. However, when you and I read about the Ultium platform's heat pump, it's taking heat off the battery, which the battery is conditioned. So it's taking waste heat off the battery and the electric motor. Do you think that could help with the failures in extreme cold?
You know,
it sounds similar to how ICE vehicles heaters work, really.
Yeah, it's because they're using an already heated substance to heat the car, but they don't heat the batteries. I mean, they heat the batteries to like what's the temperature do they heat them to? 60?
Something like that. In the extreme
now, if you're
cold,
30 below and that's running 60, and you're blowing 60-degree air into your cab, it's not going to feel that warm.
So
I just question how it works. Maybe they have some kind of supplemental heat-up chamber for it to go into a heating element.
I hope so.
I really don't know how they got it working.
Well, it says that it stores heat, is what the article says. It stores heat off the battery and off the electric motor and uses that for the concurrent heat pump. So I wonder if this technology is varied from what Tesla's using as a heat pump. And I really hope it is, because the Tesla heat pump is not functional in extreme cold temperatures in Canada. That's why they're dealing with lawsuits and everything else about it. So I do see that we've had a couple more people pop in here. We have 2 different people watching right now.
And do you have any questions,
If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and we'll talk more about what's going on with this F-150 launch event. Let's pull up the official timer since we've got a couple people on here again. We will be going live with Ford in 37 minutes, 36 seconds. So we will go live. We won't interrupt. We're going to stay with them, and we will stay with them through the entire thing. And then after, we're going to talk about our thoughts on what Ford just showed us. I think we're really in for quite the treat right now. We're up to a few of you now. Put it in the comments. Subscribe to this channel. Let us know what you want us to cover today.
We're also going to answer questions. See if what we figure out as far as the additional options. Or what was the thing Farley said? He didn't call them options. He said there'll be additional features.
There will be additional features.
There'll be additional features on the F-150. If we catch out any of that stuff, we're going to be sure to talk about it after. I mean,
I think that some big news is going to break today. I'm really, really hoping we find out a firm delivery date when these first production vehicles are actually going to make it into certain people's hands. So we want to thank everybody for joining us. We really want to add content. So anybody can look at the Ford live stream that we're going to look at. What you get from this channel is we're going to cover how the F-150 Lightning event today, how the advent of the truck itself is going to affect the electric vehicle revolution in the sticks.
Only in the sticks. We don't really care about the coast or what's going on somewhere else. We don't live there. We live here.
We have found that the electric vehicle revolution is a lot slower to come to rural areas like ours. So if you're somebody who's out in a rural area and you don't have as much access to fast chargers and all of those niceties,
but yet you still look at the numbers of your life and you still see gas costs you this and diesel costs you this, and you have to make choices. And if you choose electric, you got to understand what you're finding, and that's what we're worried about. We're worried about how's it going to affect us out here. And so what I've learned is I don't miss gas tanks.
Like this channel, subscribe, and leave us a comment right here on this live stream. We still have another 35 minutes and 10 seconds before we join Ford for this event today at the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center. And this should be really exciting. Okay, so it looks like Morgan's going to take a little break, but that's no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and cover us myself for a little bit. Please leave us a comment. We have 3 of you watching right now. That's excellent. We've had 7 people come in, but nobody's left us a comment. Leave us a comment so that we know what you want us to cover. So a couple of the features we said we hope are announced is a heat pump, like what GM and Tesla are using. I know that I would like to find out more about the smart range indicator feature that was teased in the reveal, where they're going to try to predict your range under load when you're towing, when you're using the truck as a truck. Listen, the name of this channel is EV in the Sticks. Out here in the sticks, we use our trucks as trucks. I want to know what it's like to tow with this vehicle. I want to know what it's like to how it affects your range when you put it under load. I want to know if it's going to have a heat pump to try to help get better range in winter. These are really, really important questions to ask, and I'm really looking forward to what Jim Farley and Ford Motor Company has in store for us today. On a side note, just to lighten the load a little bit, what do you think it was like for Jim Farley to grow up with Chris Farley? That had to be a pretty funny childhood, and it makes me chuckle just thinking about it. In a tweet the other day, Jim Farley literally claimed that every family has the kid who entertains everybody, and his family's was Chris Farley. And he said that Tommy Boy was based on their family life and their family dynamics. So it must have been a really humorous way to grow up. Another question that I think is valid is, how long do you think it's going to be between the F-150, the Silverado EV, the Cybertruck, and all of that? We were talking about the Cybertruck delay earlier. It looks like Morgan's back. And when we were talking about the Cybertruck delay earlier, one thing we didn't cover was that Elon Musk is now buying Twitter. And listen, I really look up to Musk. I think he's innovated a lot. I think, no, he didn't invent the electric vehicle, because some people like to throw that at him. Oh, you didn't invent? No, but he perfected.
He is the godfather. However, I don't like Elon Musk, but you can't talk about EVs without including him into the mass production. GM did come out before he did with the EV1.
Well, I do like Elon Musk. We have some differing opinions here,
Yes.
but I do think that Elon Musk is just one man. And one man now is going to be heavily involved with his ownership stake in Twitter. He's taking Twitter private, going to own it. I don't know how active in the running of it he's going to be, or if he's just doing that to ensure the ultimate free speech platform that he's advertised. But in addition to that, Musk also, of course, is CEO and of Tesla. And then, of course, he is the kind of a little bit of everything at SpaceX, lead designer, he calls it. And so he's got 3 companies now that he's going to be very heavily involved with. Talk to your local small business owner, and you'll find that their hands are full with their business valued at, probably less than $1 million. And Musk is going to run not 1, not 2, but 3 multi-billion-dollar companies. I wonder if that is going to have an impact on things like Cybertruck.
Yeah, me too. How thin can somebody spread out? But I hope the best for Cybertruck. Don't misunderstand me. I think what Elon Musk has done is revolutionary, and it was necessary in our progress in the EV world. And he made many things better. What I don't like about him is some of his employee rules and stuff like that. But I'm a union worker, and I'm going to have that kind of opinion.
Hey,
anyway.
You know what? I'm going to pause and say that while I do look up to Musk and think he has done more to create our modern world than anybody else, I do want to pause and say I agree with Morgan on treating your workers with respect, and that's an area he really needs to grow in. And I just want to give a shout out to all union members who may be logged into our live stream right now. If you're a member of a union, pop into the comments. Let us know. We'll shout out your local if you want us to. We are big supporters of the labor movement here at EV in the Sticks.
Yes, especially in the Sticks.
Workers need a voice in the workplace. It's that simple. So leave us a comment about your union, what local. We'll give it a shout out here live. United Auto Workers are taking part in today's grand event that we're going to be showing now in 28 minutes.
And and this particular vehicle is built by union workers. We're really big supporters.
Union made in the USA. And you got to love that.
You just can't. Teslas were cool, but these are union made American workers.
We absolutely love it. So make sure that you, when you pop in, comment, give us some ideas on what to cover. Give us a shout out.
Here's one more thing that's up in the EV news that I don't think we've covered yet. Chevy Silverado.
We did a whole episode on the Silverado.
Yeah, I know, but I mean today. The Silverado's out. There was some new stuff about the Silverado that came out, wasn't there?
Oh, was there? Well, let's go ahead and take a look. It's going to have the heat pump that we talked about earlier.
Oh, is that what you texted me this morning? That heat pump thing?
Yes, it's going to have the heat
we've
pump.
already covered that. Heat pump's coming out in Chevrolet, in the Silverado. The Silverado stats all are higher. All of its specs are higher than F-150.
This is interesting. According to Inside EVs, while not specifically called a heat pump in the press release, the special feature coined, quote, Ultium Energy Recovery will capture energy from the battery that may otherwise be wasted. So it's taking waste heat from the battery and using that to heat the cabin.
And a nice vehicle takes waste heat from the radiator and uses that to heat up the cabin. But it does put that moisture into a heater coil.
Yes, what it does, it really makes it a lot. It makes it a lot more efficient to heat it up. The question is, will it continue to function in extreme cold? Now I know this. In Sweden and Finland, where EVs are already like 90% of consumer cars produced, the heat pump is a standard, and that's really cold too. So, and there it's treated like a standard. So, we need to make sure that we watch that for the F-150. Because do you remember, Morgan? Do you remember if the do you by chance recall if at the reveal it said if it was going to have a resistive heater or if it was going to have a heat pump in the F-150?
I do not remember.
I don't either. And I think that as we get this close to production on these vehicles, that it's about time that we get that answer. Is this going to be a resistive heater or is it going to be a heat pump? This is probably reflective of a massive range difference in the vehicle in the wintertime.
Now, last year we did cover a story about batteries and buying a new EV. And one of the things we talked about for the purchase of an EV, used or new, is to know what kind of heat system is on the battery itself. This is not the same as what we're talking about today, but on the battery itself, you've got a active heating and cooling system and a passive heating and cooling system.
Well, it sounds like the Ultium Energy Recovery heat pump on the Silverado we were talking about, that serves two functions. It is also going to be a method of cooling the battery. So it can dispel that heat energy into the cabin to heat the cabin, or if it's hot outside, it can dispel it outside. But it is another way of heating and cooling that battery. Now, it's Ultium, so it's also liquid cooled. But now it's almost taking a liquid cooled, and then to make it more efficient, it's also going to be cooling the battery with this heat pump technology. So that's fantastic. And you know what? I don't think Tesla is doing that in their heat pumps. Maybe we should research that a little more in depth, because Tesla's heat pumps are failing in extreme cold. But it sounds to me like there should be enough heat energy in a battery that's relatively well charged that you shouldn't be failing in extreme cold temps. Especially, so the battery is liquid heated to begin with, and then it's going to take any waste heat and use that in the cabin.
It should at least assist at bare minimum, but we're going to see what it's got today. I'm very excited about seeing what
the
it's got
Silverado is what we were talking about with that feature. I really hope the F-150, at some point they tell us, is this resistive heating or is this a heat pump? If you already know the answer to that question and maybe we're missing something, go ahead and let us know in the comments. All right? Because we would really appreciate knowing that information ourselves. And I'm sure that any new features that they cover today, we're going to be talking about at length after the event. So we went live about an hour and a half before the event. We're going to stay live until after the event, and we're going to provide some commentary at the end. We are really dedicating a good portion of our day-to-day to doing this so that we can talk about how people out in rural America can make the transition to the electric vehicle future.
And will it be a hassle or will it be more convenient?
This is really fun for us, but it would really help us if you would support our channel. Like this live stream, comment, subscribe to our channel. Do those things so that we can continue to bring the hot electric vehicle content that everybody wants to see. All right, so please leave us a like and comment on this and give us what topics you want us to cover over the next 22 minutes. So again, just a reminder as to what's going to happen in 22 minutes. When the event goes live with Ford, we are going to switch our screen to the Ford event. And you can watch it with us. I don't think we're planning on interrupting. We will likely mute our microphone. And we'll just watch it right alongside you. And then after the event, we're going to recap what we saw and learned from today's event, what new features we learned about, whether or not it's going to have that heat pump that we were talking about, and everything like that. So definitely stay with us through the event and stay with us through Ford's live stream and all of that so that you can get our analysis afterwards as to how those features can be used, how they're going to help people in the sticks go EV. These are really exciting times to be changing the way that we do electric vehicles. So.
Now, charging, too, is also a thing to talk about. I've just done a trip across Iowa and Nebraska and had to charge on the road. Had a good experience. Learned something. I don't know that I learned something, but I will report as something happened. The chargers work at different rates. There's 3 different types, and the one type I'm going to talk about today is DC fast chargers. I do not use them on a regular basis. I normally never have to charge on the road.
Charging at home, if you can do that within your vehicle's range, is always the best bet.
Yeah, and that's what most people do. So I never have to fill up for gas. Every morning I have a full tank of fuel when I go, and unless you're going to travel a long ways, that's normally pretty good. So here we are at the charging station, and the thing is, the car I have will charge at like 54 kilowatts.
Yeah, we drive Bolts, which are really kind of slow chargers, but supposedly that's done to protect the battery. We'll see, because they also had a massive fire recall. Story for another time.
Yeah, but anyway, so what story was I headed with that, Michael?
Your charging story.
Charging story.
On
we
Friday.
got that. Okay, so I got there. It was free. Green lots, most of them are free in Iowa. So I was there charging for free, but it was a 150 kilowatt charger, and it only charged my Bolt at 20 kilowatts. I do not know the reason for that.
I speculate that it was the cold.
It could have been the cold, but I know I went to the very
next
next charger, and we put in a credit card. Same brand, Green Lots, and we paid for it with a credit card. Instead of using the app and getting it free, we paid for it with a credit card, and it charged at 54 kilowatts for a long time before it started to crank down. You know, it has to build up and then crank back. There's a curve. And it did really well. I was very happy with it. Sometimes paying for, I think it's because I paid for it that it went faster.
I think it's just that the battery heat up. The fact that the Bolt charges at 21 kilowatts below a certain temperature, and then once the battery heats up enough, then it goes up to its full charging capabilities is a pretty well-known phenomenon, and I'm betting that it was a timing issue, that it just so happened that at the time that your battery got warm enough to go is when you gave up on the first charger and moved to the second one. It could be that you put a credit card in there, but I sort of doubt it. I will say on Friday of this weekend when this story took place, Electrify America was having a free weekend anyway.
I didn't get it looked up on PlugShare. I messed up. I should have stopped there and had no problems.
But the Earth Day free charging thing from Electrify America is a fantastic. It turns Earth Day into one of those 3-day weekends like you do for Memorial Day or Labor Day. It just makes it a cheap travel weekend. A lot of fun, or it certainly can be. Again, I'm seeing we have a couple more people watching again. Make sure you comment on this video. Let us know what you want us to talk about, both before and after the main event today. Make sure that you let us know if you live out in rural America. Give your hometown a shout out. Let us know, because that's what we do. We're not covering EVs for people in California. We're covering EVs
or in New York
for people in West Virginia. We're covering EVs for people in Nebraska, Iowa. We're covering EVs for people who don't have
Colorado, anywhere in the sticks.
They don't have all the fancy fast charging equipment, etc., etc. We are here to help you out. So please, like this live stream, subscribe to our channel so that we can bring you more EV content for people like us who want to use this truck as a truck.
Anyway, to me, it's kind of like a kickoff all over again, because it's actually going to happen. The trucks are coming. Today is delivery day. We're very excited.
So we're celebrating job 1 with Ford today, and we're very excited to do that. And again, the way the format on this is going to work, and I've covered this a couple times, as we get closer to the event, we're now down to 16 minutes. We have already been live for 45 minutes, or 46:31 to be exact. And in 16 minutes, little beforehand to make sure we're on time, we're going to minimize us, switch our screen to just the Ford event, and we're going to sit by quietly and watch the event live with you folks. We're going to mute our mic and just watch the thing live. And then after the event, after Ford's event today, we're going to cover whatever new information has come out. We're going to talk about how it's relevant for people out in the sticks. Whatever they talk about, we're hoping to find out what kind of heater. That's been a big topic today. What kind of heater? Is it a resistive heater like what's in the less expensive EVs? Or is it going to have a heat pump? And if it has a heat pump, is it going to be like the Tesla heat pump that uses outside energy? Or is it going to be like the Ultium platform heat pump that's drawing energy off the battery and electric motor? It's going to be very interesting to find that out. And that has a lot to do with the vehicle's efficiency in winter. So let's stay with us. Comment on this video. Subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to focus on EVs for people out in rural America. And for us, rural America could be the hills in northern Alabama where you hail from originally.
Oh, yeah, sure could be. And Tennessee.
And Tennessee. It could be the mountains of West Virginia.
Anywhere in the sticks. It
could
cannot
be
be in
Colorado.
Atlanta, Georgia. It cannot be in New York City. It cannot be in San Jose, California.
But if you're in Eastern California,
if you're
that's
in Eastern
pretty
California
rural.
and in the sticks and in the mountains, you qualify for what the information we got.
Yeah, we're trying to help people who don't have as much access to EV infrastructure.
Sample information. Tennessee has legislation passed to make sure there's a charger every 50 miles on every highway in the state.
And that's going to be huge. Now, Tennessee, the Volkswagen ID4 is being made in Tennessee. Probably has something to do with that. Yeah. So it's important to know where all that's coming from. Now, out here in the sticks, we have different needs. The EV revolution has been slow to come to rural America. Do you think that's a fair statement?
It's definitely slow. Well, everything's slow to come to rural America. Even rock and roll.
That's true. That's absolutely true. But it is coming. And this channel is going to cover every second of the EV revolution coming to rural America. So please, give this live stream a like. Subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to bring you premium EV content for people out in rural America. All right? Again, a reminder of the format. If you weren't on here when we covered this the first time, we're going to switch to the Ford live stream here in a little bit. We've got 12 minutes left.
We've got 12 minutes left. I want to tell you about some upcoming episodes we have. We both have Chevy Bolts. His battery has been replaced.
For the fire recall, yep.
For the fire recall, mine has not. And so the only differences between our batteries is that his has the new connections that don't catch fire and mine doesn't have those new connections yet. But we're going to go out and see how much the connection to the battery affects the range. We got the exact same size battery now. All we got to do is see which one actually works better, the old style or the newer style. We're going to actually test them. And that's coming up probably next month.
And I'm really excited for that. The reason for next month is we're in Nebraska where we want to make sure that it's warm enough to run that test at optimal temperatures. And
if we get stuck with no juice, so it's warm enough to get it right out of there.
And you need to, you really need to plan because there's not a whole lot of DC fast chargers out here. Now, just full disclosure, we are based out of Fremont, Nebraska, okay? And the
nearest DC fast chargers to us is 15 miles. Not even 15. Probably 15 miles from your house. But this is brand new. About 10 from my house.
This development wasn't here before, but there's a DC fast charger in North Bend. So I think the plan's going to be we're going to drive from your house to the North Bend DC fast charger where we will make sure we're topped off 100%. Once we're sure we're topped off 100%, we're going to leave from North Bend. Highway 30 going west is very, very flat for a good long chunk of time.
Yes.
And I think we're going to go west on Highway 30.
Well, we'll go on Highway 30 west from the Charger on the 4-lane. We'll go probably to Columbus and back at least.
Well, that's not... We probably have to do that loop twice to even get close to denting the range. So we're looking at like a North Bend to Columbus, Nebraska loop on Highway 30. And that's how we'll test the range. And we'll let you know because range is king for people who want to go to electric vehicles in the sticks. And we'll let you know.
And mind you, we have the slowest charging, oldest of this generation electric cars, but yet they're still viable solutions to a vehicle.
Exactly. So we're going to let you know exactly how far you can go in rural America without needing to plug in your car. And we're not going to go with an EPA rated test. We're going to go with an EV in the sticks test, which is going to be, we're going to test it in the sticks, and you're going to know what your range can do.
I'm going to give a little more speculation on Ford F-150s coming up. They're just going to start delivery process today. So let's say you bought one and yours gets delivered to you, only it's pink instead of blue. And you decide you don't want pink, so you reject the vehicle. Or maybe it'll be a Lariat and you wanted a Pro, or something comes out wrong on your order.
Correct.
Now, if that happens and somebody rejects the buy because of that, that truck's still going to be sold. So I don't know exactly how many you're talking about, and I can't make any promises or about it, but I think they're going to be looking out for a new F-150s on the lots inside of a week. I could be wrong. If they deliver them, I imagine there's people going to reject them. Because some people just are too
I don't
picky.
think within a week, because we know the mannequins have not yet been delivered.
That's because of the okay to sell.
So
if that happens today, the okay to sell, those all get delivered.
We hope that happens. Now, I don't believe you're going to have the buy existing inventory based on whatever vehicles were rejected at the lot until after we get through the mannequin delivery process. And then we start delivering to customers. Now, the mannequin delivery is really exciting for guys like us. Why would a mannequin delivery be exciting for guys like us?
In 6 months, it'll be for sale.
In 6 months, the mannequin itself will be for sale. It's probably going to be a steep markup, but it will be for sale. But there's a different reason I'm excited for the mannequin. We'll finally get to drive the darn truck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get to test drive them.
I get to drive the darn truck. I've been wanting to drive this truck ever since May of 21 when this thing was revealed. And we reserved the thing same day.
Yeah.
And now we're going to get the chance to drive a truck thanks to the mannequin program. What did our guy Graham at our dealership tell us just this morning when we were researching to go live? By the way, that's another reason you should subscribe to our channel. We are the most well-researched EV channel in this space. This space being the electric vehicles in the sticks.
Well, there is him in Colorado. What's his name in Colorado?
I'm not going to advertise another channel on here. Come on.
Well, I met him. I've talked to him. He's in the same world. He's all right.
He's an all right dude. But he's out of spec reviews. But I don't really think that he's doing a lot of EV in the sticks.
He's not really covering the sticks, but he does happen to live in the sticks, so he does. But he lives in Colorado, which is an electric state. We live in Nebraska, which is an oil state, and it's just not as conducive as the same. Colorado's much easier to EV in.
We are live. We are live.
We're going to be switching over now, people. We will speak again when there's a break. Sound.
For this vehicle gives it 4x4 all the time. You couple that with the rear independent suspension and it provides the Lightning with a really wonderful drive. This vehicle gives it 4x4 all the time.
We looked at all the cool stuff that's underneath the
rear
frame,
independent
the battery,
suspension and it provides
the
the Lightning
stators that
with
make
a
it go.
really
But this
wonderful
is
drive.
where we
This
take the
vehicle
cab
gives it
and we
4x4
marry it to the
all
body.
time.
This is the
You
cool
couple
stuff
that
underneath
with
the
rear
frame, the
independent
battery,
suspension
the
and it
the
provides the
stators
Lightning
that
with
make
a
it go.
really
Not only is
wonderful
this where
drive.
we take the
Gives
cab
it
and marry it to
4x4
the
all
body.
time.
This is the
You
cool
couple
stuff
that with
underneath
the
the
rear
frame, the
independent
battery,
suspension
the
and it provides the
stators
Lightning.
that
Can
make
you
it
believe
go.
it?
Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the stators that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the stators that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the staters that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the staters that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the staters that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the staters that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the staters that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the staters that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the staters that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the staters that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body. This is the cool stuff underneath the frame, the battery, the staters that make it go. Not only is this where we take the cab and marry it to the body.
I'm Megan Jageski. I work at the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center. I specialize in the pre-delivery area, making sure trucks make it through end of line and out of the plant in a good working order. So I'm actually the 10th person in my family line to work at the Rouge facility, let alone Ford itself. Make it through end of line.
Well, your whole families have been a Ford family for many generations, right?
Yeah.
Well, I can relate. Are you fifth generation?
I am. I'm fifth generation. My great-great-grandfather worked here at the Rouge facility when it basically opened. So
I bet he knew my great-grandfather. I'm one generation ahead of you. I'm a lot of years ahead of you, too.
She had my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my parents, myself, my daughter Megan,
I'm one generation
working with all those generations at Ford. I guess you could say Ford is probably in our blood, her blood. It means the world to us, and having her launch this vehicle now at the Rouge, I guess words just can't explain enough how we feel.
My grandmother Irene, she actually died a year ago this past Saturday. She was definitely a huge supporter of me coming to work at Ford. I think she was the most excited out of all of us when I announced that I was actually going to come work here. A year ago this past Saturday. Yep, sorry. I was about to get emotional. I was trying to stop myself. I can't imagine what she would think seeing this vehicle out in the world and knowing that I was part of it.
So, what do you like best about working at Ford?
I think just like the tight-knit environment we have here. Our team, specifically with program management, is kind of just like one big family. There's a lot of us, and everyone's from all different locations and areas with different experiences here. But we have a ton of fun.
You know, so I love to hear you say fun because, so often we don't talk about that. And if you can't have fun working on stuff like this, I mean, come on, really? And fun ought to be part of what we do because people get so passionate about what we make. Our customers have fun with it. We should have fun too. Come on, really? And fun ought to be part of what we do because people get so passionate about what we make. Our customers have fun with it. We should have fun
I think what you want for your child is that they have a job that turns them on and they have fun. I mean, she just has a blast doing this. I think she feels kind of like I did. I got paid at Ford for 30 years for a hobby. That's what it was for me, and I had a great time doing it. I think she feels kind of like I did. I got paid at Ford for 30 years.
Please welcome F-150 Lightning Launch Supervisor, Megan Jageski. Please welcome F-150 Lightning Launch Supervisor, Megan Jageski.
Good afternoon, everybody. All I can say is, wow, what an honor it is to be here. In a moment, you're going to hear from another multi-generational member of the Ford family, Bill Ford. All I can say is, wow, what an honor. The history we share shows why, for so many employees, Ford is a family company. My family came to America in 1906, and for over a century working at Ford, they have witnessed the birth of the automobile and have been a part of its evolution. The company gave my family a livelihood, and for the Great Depression and World War II. My great-grandmother Mary was a bench worker at the Highland Park plant. The company gave my there is a long tradition of 4 generations of women in my family working at my great-grandmother Mary was a bench so in many ways, Ford Motor Company helped us achieve the American dream. 4 generations of women. I hope my great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather would be happy to see this moment in our history. I think Bill's great-grandfather would be too. On behalf of all of us on the F-150 Lightning team, we're so pumped to share this moment with you. It's time to have some fun. Are you ready, folks? On behalf of all of us on the F-150 Lightning team, we're so pumped to share this moment with you. It's time to have some fun. Are you ready, folks? Here to tell us more, it's my pleasure to introduce our Executive Chair, Bill Ford. It's time to have some fun. Are you ready, folks? Here to tell us more, it's my pleasure to introduce our Executive Chair, Bill Ford. It's time to have some fun. Are you ready, folks? Here to tell us more, it's my pleasure to
Well, hi, everybody, and thank you, Megan. You know, families like yours are really what makes Ford a special company. 5 generations in your case. Hi, everybody, and thank you, Megan. I'm the 4th. My daughter's the 5th, and I hope we have a 6th coming up really soon.
But Megan really is the result of all her family's dreams. I'm the fourth, and now she's doing something beyond their wildest imagination. She's building. Megan really is the result of all her. And everybody, welcome to now she's doing something beyond their wildest imagination. She's building. Megan really is the result of all her. And everybody, welcome to now. This has always been much more than just a factory. It's the beating heart of this company, a source of pride and opportunity for generations of American workers. This has always been much more than just. And the Rouge has always been the beating heart to me personally. A source of pride. Here on a site that's more than 100 years old, we've built everything from the Model A to the Mustang to the F-150, the best-selling truck in America for 45 years in a row. 100 years old, and 3.5 years ago, I stood here and I promised that someday, when we built the best-selling electric truck in America, we'd build it right here. 3.5 years ago, that was pretty ambitious because we hadn't even broken ground yet on this facility. But our amazing team got it done. And the wait is over as that day has arrived. But our amazing team got it done. And the wait is over as that day has arrived. This is history in the making. And it's something I've been dreaming about for a long time. Remember, there was a time not too long ago when some people dismissed the Rouge as nothing more than an old, polluted tract of land. Remember, some executives said we should shut it down and walk away. But I would never allow them to throw away the heart of the Ford Motor Company. Some executives said we should. Instead, I pointed out my window at the Rouge and I said, if we really want to make a difference, let's make this the greenest plant in the world. And that's what the team did. Instead, I pointed out my window. And now, at the Rouge, Rouge Electric Vehicle Center, the plant that defined the future of manufacturing in America is defining it again all over Rouge Electric Vehicle Center. This moment is every bit as important to this company and to this country as when the Model T first started rolling off the assembly line. This moment is every back then. We were the first company to bring automobiles to everybody. The Model T first started rolling off. We're the first company to build electric trucks for everybody. We were the first company way ahead of anyone else. To everybody. Lightning is the only all-electric truck that's built for tough for everybody. Built for America and built right here. Lightning is the only all-electric truck that's built for tough for everybody. Built for America and built right here. As ambitious as it was to build this truck, the truck itself is actually even more ambitious. This truck is going to change everything. As ambitious as it has capabilities that nobody has ever seen. So even if you've been an F-150 owner for years, you've never experienced any capabilities like nobody has ever seen. Lightning will change the way America works. People are going to love this truck. And I just want to thank all of you for making it possible. Change the way America works. I can't fully express the gratitude and pride that I feel today. And I just want to thank for the ingenuity and hard work of the Ford and UAW teams. I can't for all the painstaking labor of everyone at Dearborn Stamping, the Van Dyke Electric Powertrain Center, the Watsonville Components Plant, and everyone right here at the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center. Today is your day. I know it meant a lot of late nights, long weekends, time away from your family. But you all make generations of workers who've called the Rouge their home extremely proud. You're on the front lines of Ford and America's new era in electric manufacturing. And the Rouge plant and this plant are leading the way. The next revolution in American manufacturing is here. And it's a Ford revolution. And this plant now, I'd like you to hear from the people of the Rouge about the future of manufacturing. Thank you. And it's a Ford revolution. Now, I'd like you to hear from
when I walk into the turnstiles every morning, I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be a part of something innovative. We're like a family here. I love Ron. I love you too. I'm excited. I get up every day at 3:30. Excited to come to work.
I'm glad y'all chose to talk to us.
Because you want to know what we do, how we do it.
I always did like putting things together. I learned that it takes teamwork.
People outside of Ford ask you where you work at Ford, and you tell them the electric vehicle center. They'll do the lightning, and they have tons of questions.
So when you tell them you work in the factory, they think, oh, with a bunch of men, and you're thinking like, you haven't been in the factory lately.
They have tons of questions.
So when you tell them you work in the factory,
People next to you, these operators are experts. They make it look easy. It's not easy.
a lot of times production tends to get forgotten about, right? We were absolutely instrumental in what is actually needed for our operators, from a process standpoint, from an ergonomic standpoint.
I didn't even know what ergonomics was when I started.
We were absolutely instrumental in.
But now you see it, it's all through here.
Everything over here is a ergonomic standpoint.
The wave of the future. I'm excited to be a part of it. I have 10 years here.
Been here for about 10 years now.
20 years.
27 years.
Coming up on 28, 29 years.
Almost 32 years I retired. Opportunity arose to be a part of this lightning project. It was a rather short retirement. Almost 32 years I retired. Opportunity arose to be a part of this lightning project.
Look at her. She's always looking out for me. We all in this together.
Everyone working together to accomplish anything. Quality goes up, the morale.
That's exactly it. Everything feels new. It feels different. It feels like we're moving into a whole new era and we're doing it together.
I started in '94.
That's exactly
different
it.
culture,
Everything feels
completely different atmosphere, different environment, different structure.
And we're doing
So we can make it what I consider one heck of a vehicle.
In my 32 years at Ford, this is the most excitement around a vehicle I've seen.
Everybody all in, willing to say we're willing to do something different, right? So I'm really proud of this team, how we work together, both hourly and salary. Everybody's been great.
Our UAW members who work here today stand in of hundreds of thousands of past UAW members who worked at this site and made automotive history over and over again. Our UAW members who work here today, I want to thank the members of UAW Local 600 of past along UAW with President members Bernie Rickey, who worked at this site and made automotive history, and the leadership team members who work here today. I want to thank the members of UAW Local 6 right here, along with President Bernie Rickey, who worked at this site and made automotive history, and the leadership team members who work here today. I want to thank the members of UAW Local 6 right here, along with President Bernie Rickey, who worked at this site and made automotive history, and the leadership team members who work here today. I want to thank the members of UAW Local 6 right here, along with President Bernie Rickey, who worked at this site and made automotive history, and the leadership team members who work here today. I want to thank the members of UAW Local 6 right here, along with President Bernie Rickey, who worked at this site and made automotive history, and the leadership team members who work here today. I want to thank the members of UAW Local 6 right here, along with President Bernie Rickey, who worked at this site and made automotive history, and the leadership team members who work here today. I want to thank the members of UAW Local 6 right here, along with President Bernie Rickey, who worked at this site and made automotive history, and the leadership team members who work here today. I want to thank the members of UAW Local 6 right here, along with President Bernie Rickey, who worked at Chairman Nick and made automotive history, and the leadership team members work here today. I want to thank the members of UAW Local 6 right here, along with President Bernie Rickey, who worked at Chairman Nick and made automotive history, and the leadership team members work here today. Okay, who's ready to see what our people and this state-of-the-art facility are capable of? Okay, who's ready to see what our people and this state-of-the-art facility are capable of? Rolling off our assembly line. Take a look. Okay, who's ready to see what our people and this state-of-the-art facility are capable of? Rolling off our assembly line. Take a look. Okay, who's ready to see what our people and this state-of-the-art facility are capable of? Rolling off our assembly line. Take a look. Okay, who's ready to see what our people and this state-of-the-art facility are capable of? Rolling off our assembly line. Take a look. Okay, who's ready to see what our people and this state-of-the-art facility are capable of? Rolling off our assembly line. Take a look. Okay, who's ready to see what our people and this state-of-the-art facility are capable of? Rolling off our assembly line. Take a look. Okay, who's ready to see what our people and this state-of-the-art facility are capable of? Rolling off our assembly line. Take a look. Okay, who's ready to see what our people and this state-of-the-art facility are capable of? Rolling off our assembly line. Take a look. Okay, who's ready to see what our people and this state-of-the-art facility are capable of? Rolling off our assembly line.
Change everything? Well, let's find out. 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 Everything? Well, let's find out. Everything? Well, let's find out.
Please welcome Ford Motor Company Chief Executive Officer, Jim Farley. Please welcome Ford Motor Company Chief Executive Officer, Jim Farley.
Mike was telling me a joke. That was a good joke. Thank you.
Please welcome Ford Motor Company Chief Executive Officer, Jim Farley.
Mike was telling me a joke. As you said, it's really history in the making, and it's your vision.
Ford Motor Company Chief Executive Officer, Jim
I want to
Farley.
echo something that Bill said. Mike, right off the bat, as you stated, not really history in the making, and it's men and women.
Brisk morning, wonderful
in the United
afternoon.
States for 45 years straight, and the
Do you have
best-selling
it up?
vehicle in this country for a damn good reason. And every one of those reasons
Turn the TV up.
is in the DNA of every one of these Lightnings. But I'll tell you what, electrification gives you features you've never seen in a truck before. Instant torque, incredible acceleration. I've driven on the track, and the president said it best. This sucker's quick. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. I mean, that is supercar category. I've driven on the track, and it goes with ease. There's nothing behind you. And the ride is so smooth, 0 to 60, swear you won't like it. I mean, you won't believe this is a truck. And you want power? And 5 in the bed. More than that, though, it's an open platform for our customers and the innovation and creativity that they'll apply and use this truck for.
Can you hear it?
Listen to this. How about a ripping 20,000 sheets of plywood with your circular saw with one charge? 20,000 sheets. Or an off-grid wedding in Yosemite. Or a block party that lasts a weekend and the next week. You can even charge other EVs for your friends that own Teslas. That wasn't fair, was it? But so what? We're gonna find out all sorts of crazy usages for that 10 kilowatts that we never imagined. I can't wait to see all of that. And plug it in overnight, and you got a full charge every morning, unlike your ICE F-150. 320-mile range every morning. It can power your home in an outage, and we know that's a real thing at Ford. And because Lightning offers this bidirectional power with solar energy integration, you can actually power not only your house, 0 emissions, but your truck too. It's got a mega power front that's tough enough to carry 400 pounds of concrete, but is waterproof enough for your dirtiest gear. And hell, you tell me how many beers you'll be able to fit in that front during your tailgate. We even gave it a cabin
hearing
like
this?
a hotel suite.
It's got solar.
It's got more shoulder room and more leg room than any EV on the market. It is so much larger than any EV you've ever sat in. But Lightning is so much more than just space and power and payload and propulsion. Our customers are going to love the digital experience. In fact, if there's one thing that we heard from customers is they're just blown away at the information, the way it's displayed. And you know, this truck is going to evolve every night with over-the-air updates. In the morning, when you get in, you're going to get new features. Maybe it's more range, new driving modes. There's endless ways that we will take advantage of all the embedded cameras, the lights at night, the scales are on board. Just wait to see what those OTAs do for features as you own the truck. Every morning, something's different. It's like a smartphone that could tow 10,000 pounds.
Can you hear it in your earbud?
And with Blue Cruise, Lightning drivers can go hands-free in many highway conditions. In fact, now at Ford, our customers have done more than 2.5 million miles hands-free. And, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions about truck owners, but we know at Ford, they love their technology. And they're going to love this truck, as Bill said. And if you've never bought a Ford before, welcome to our family. You, our customers, are going to get capability no other EV truck can ever offer, but for thousands of dollars less than our competitors' trucks, whenever they actually go on sale. Our truck is here today because we rolled up our sleeves. We rediscovered our roots around innovation. We worked together, and now we're busting our butts to make more of these. Demand for Lightning has literally pushed out the walls of this building where we are twice. Right in the middle of the first expansion, we went right to the team and said, that's great, but can you make the factory a little bigger? We've expanded this plant to produce 150,000 Lightnings a year. That's a lot of jobs here in America. And we're not going to stop with this beautiful truck. We will produce 600,000 EVs a year by the end of next year. I wish we could bring you all down there, but we're already pushing dirt down in Blue Oval City in Tennessee for another electric pickup truck that's different than this one. So, we're going to be ready for 2 million electric vehicles 4 years from now. We have every intention of being the #1 electric pickup maker, and then with the huge investments, $50 billion in EVs, battery manufacturing, our expanded lineup, which you have not seen yet, we plan to challenge Tesla and all comers to become the top EV maker in the world. That's something that no one would have believed just 2 years ago from us. Take a look at this truck and believe it. A truck that's made in America. A truck that's made in Detroit. And it's built Ford tough. I believe that the industrial Midwest can be the center of innovation again, and that Ford can lead, as Bill said. Today is as much about who we are as where we're going as a company and as a country. Bold, innovative, forward-thinking, and yes, proud as hell. We want Ford to win this race, not for Wall Street, not for the profits, but for our team, our communities where they live, of course, our planet, and most of all, our incredible customers. We spoke to a few of them before the launch today, and I want you to hear from them, not me, of what they said about this truck. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Darren Palmer, and I'm obsessed with talking to our customers about what they're going to do with our trucks. So I'd like to call a few of our reservationists today and see what they think.
Hello.
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 Hi, good afternoon.
I heard that you ordered an F-150 Lightning, is that correct?
We did, yes.
I do have an order in. I'm very excited about it.
But first of all, could you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I'm a high school teacher here in Middletown, Delaware.
We own a home remodeling company, NG Platinum Homes.
We own a Tesla, which is going to be traded in for this Ford.
I'm originally from California. My wife is in the military, and I also do contracting work with the military.
I'm at Ford Motor Company, 27 years, almost 28.
Can you tell me, what is it like to be building your own truck?
Not too many people can actually say that, right? I mean, so I'm part of history.
How are you planning to use it?
We have a couple ranches that belong to our family, so we plan to utilize it fully like a pickup truck.
So what do you like about electric vehicles?
The convenience. I think they make the best daily drivers of any car. You're waking up every day with a completely full tank, so to speak, right?
They're super low maintenance. You don't need to change any oil. I'm going full electric from this point on.
And are there any particular features that you're looking forward to using in the truck?
At the sticks where I am, we're kind of a lot of farmland here in Middletown, and so we lose power occasionally. So this Pro Power onboard structure with the intelligent backup is going to be awesome.
The other one that I really like is the Mega Power front.
I have an electric scooter, and so the onboard charging, the being able to plug things up, so have extended time to be out with my family.
Well, I'm looking forward to the day when you first drive it because it's like nothing else. And so speaking of that, I've got a little surprise for you. I would love to invite you to come down to the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn and come and celebrate the launch with us.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing.
Oh my gosh, that would be incredible. I would love to do that. What an amazing event that'll be.
I would love to be a part of that event.
Thank you so much for talking to me today. I'm looking forward to seeing you over there.
Can't wait.
And our owners were able to drive the truck, and hopefully you had a good time here. Understand what you got? All right. To all of you customers here today, thank you for joining us on this very special day. It wouldn't be the same without you. Thank you for trusting us at Ford. We don't take your trust lightly. On behalf of the team here, let's hear it for all of our Lightning customers. Thank you. Okay, here's the plan. Trucks are rolling off the line today. I'm pleased to share with you that we will begin shipping Lightnings in the coming days, starting with our Pro Series. I can't wait to hear what you think when you're using your F-150. Send us your pictures. That's exactly why we built it. And buckle up, because we're just getting started, folks. I've never been more excited about our future than I am today. To everyone here and all of you watching on the broadcast, thank you so much for sharing this moment for us at the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center. Let's go make history, folks.
All right, Morgan. So what'd you think of that?
Well, I had a lot of, I caught some things. We had some sound problems in the first bit of that.
It did take us some time to get that worked out. Apologize for that, by the way. But we did get it worked out, for sure.
Anyway, we're new at this. Let me tell you about the feature that I found incredible. Is he said something about solar charging capabilities on this thing. I don't know what that entails.
On the tonneau cover?
Is it on the? I don't know if it's on the tonneau cover, but I seen one of the F-150s there with the tonneau cover, and I'm just wondering if it's solar paneled. I know he mentioned solar charging of this vehicle to run your house independently.
Correct. I think the big takeaway is that these things are now going to ship in a matter of days, not weeks or months, and that they're starting with the low dollar pros, not with the platinums or anything like that. So I think that you'll probably see some of these on the road in May, would be my guess. Because if this is shipping in days, that means they're probably going to be shipping by the end of April. And by the end of May, somebody's going to be taking their Pro off the lot. And that's going to be really interesting to see. I know that from talking to our dealer, at least one person who ordered at our dealer did order the Pro. So very possible. Plus, what we could run into is people starting to get their their dealer mannequins in and possibly getting the chance to drive one of these even if they haven't seen it yet. So I think that this was filled with a lot of exciting news. I will say we didn't see any deliveries like we saw with the Model S event. So I think that's a little bit disappointing. You talked about us, we're a little sour that we reserved same day and we're not getting a 2022 model.
When we know people that reserved after us got models in California, Colorado, and in places that Nebraska was banned.
Because it came down to whether or not you were an EV state, what you were allocated. Our dealer was only allocated 2 for the 2022 model. This is going to be a problem for people in the sticks. It's going to be hard to get one of these. Now, I don't think they're going to stay production constrained indefinitely. They're trying to move to 150,000 per year, according to Jim Farley. So I think we'll be seeing trucks here really soon.
Yeah, I think they're coming out real soon, and I think we're going to see some. Like I said, I think there's going to be some for sale because somebody's going to reject them. That's just inevitable in American society.
And you can check that on Ford's website.
Somebody probably saw the Silverado stats being higher, and they're like, well, I'll get that instead.
Yeah, you can check that out with the See Local Inventory stuff, and you can see, whether there's going to be any available for you. You check local inventory on Ford's website daily and just look to see, did a dealer near me have one rejected, and now they're selling it on the open market. Now, the problem with that is the markups were already high. The markups will be higher when you are taking it that way. So be prepared for heavy dealer markups if they're selling it secondary like that. They're going to use that as an opportunity to mark that thing up and get the vehicle sold at a higher margin for the dealer. So I look for a lot of dealer markups if you're going to buy it that way, but I think that the possibility of buying one is going to be a lot higher for sure.
Yeah, I think the odds are all going up for everybody. And now that they're coming out, in a few years, you're going to have the Silverado too. Trucks are going to be out and about in the electric world and all in time for EV in the sticks to keep its progress.
So we do have some comments now. We got this from Welcome to Detroit. Somebody saying, I work there and it is fast AF. We will leave it to your imagination what
AF means?
AF means, but it is definitely fast AF, or as, Jim Farley quoted the president and said the president said it best, the sucker's quick. And I think that's the thing we're all most excited about. So we thank you for your comment. Welcome to Detroit. Please subscribe to our channel. Help a couple guys out. We're trying to bring the electric vehicle revolution to people out here in the sticks. Which brings me to one of their customer interviews they did.
Oh, yeah, that
somebody
one guy
specifically said,
out here in the sticks.
Out here in the sticks where I live. And the thing is, for people who live out here in the sticks, it's not as easy to get your hands on some of these. And we really are looking forward to the increase in availability. Welcome to Detroit. Do you want to comment? So you work there. Can you let us know anything about production of these things? When he says a matter of days to ship, do you know anything as to the exact date?
Well, we'll have to wait for that comment. I mean, we got a delay going on our...
Absolutely.
So when he does get back to us, we'll let everybody know. Very excited, though. New things are coming, and Ford's on the edge. That's what they're on the front edge of the cutting sword.
Well, what interested me is he made it clear that they're intending to be number one in electric trucks.
Yeah, they are not intending on being a backseat to nobody.
And that means Rivian is included in that.
That would mean, and they own a lot of Rivian.
They sold a lot of their shares in Rivian.
Oh, go figure. When the bad press came out, so did Ford.
Welcome to Detroit says, we've been making them for a few months now. So I'm betting that when they start shipping, they're going to be shipping a good chunk of them all at once.
A lot of first round, I'll bet, goes.
I bet a lot of first round orders, especially pros, because he said we're shipping pros in a matter of days. So I look for these to be on the road before the end of May, and I think that's entirely reasonable. So keep your eyes out. I know we're really excited to get ours. We're hoping at least for our dealer to get a mannequin that we can drive a little bit. And when we get to drive it, you better believe that's going to be on this channel. So,
oh, yeah.
again, we're dedicated to making electric vehicles accessible to people in the sticks. That's our mission here at EV in the Sticks. We want to make sure that rural America isn't left behind in the electric vehicle revolution.
That's absolutely right. All we want to do is help people out in our same position. If you're wanting to go electric, let me give you a little example. I filled up my fuel tank on the way to Iowa for $3 or for $4. It's just a better life.
And that's on a road trip. When you're charged here at the house, we pay 9 cents per kilowatt hour with our utility company.
You're talking
OPPD.
$20 a month, mostly. You know.
You're well, I think a little higher for a truck. That might be for your Bolt, but
yeah.
But you have excellent chances to get to have a pickup truck that can be used as a pickup truck, and this is going to be the first full-size electric pickup truck. Again, a reminder, Rivian doesn't count in that. They are technically classified as midsize. They do have excellent utility for a midsize, but the Rivian at the end of the day is a lifestyle truck, and this is a work truck. This is a truck for people out here in the sticks. So this is the one that we are definitely most excited about. And I want to give another shout out to Welcome to Detroit. He did just subscribe to our channel, or she. I guess I don't actually know the gender of the person, but they just subscribed to our channel. So thank you for supporting us, and anybody else who comes in, definitely give our channel a like or give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, check out our other EV content. We've done an episode on the Silverado. We did a fun episode with the EV in the sticks, or with the EV Silverado. We've done EV Basic series, sort of teaching rural people how to go EV. So thanks for all that.
Yeah, ABC for winter. Always be charging.
Welcome to Detroit is a man who prefers he, him pronouns. So that's fantastic. We really appreciate the interaction here. Welcome to Detroit. Do you have anything you want to add on the F-150, or do you think...
I'm just very excited, very happy about what's coming out, and I think that's about all the information I got out of this video. This video was short, and it was done for some hype.
It was a celebration of the fact that these things are getting delivered imminently.
I do feel a bit ripped off, though. I mean,
you were looking for.
I was looking for a delivery. I thought it would actually be a delivery.
I don't know. Knowing that by the end of May these trucks are going to be on the road, it's pretty exciting. I think we've been waiting since May 19th, 2021, if I remember correctly.
But they could have delivered to that one guy that ordered from the plant himself.
That's true.
They could have delivered one today.
And that's something Ford's been known for, is your best customers are your workers. So, very exciting news coming out of Ford today. I want to thank everybody for participating in our live stream. If you missed chunks of it, it's going to stay on our channel, so go ahead and watch it at your leisure. And we can't hit enough. Subscribe to this channel to help us out to bring more EV content to everybody.
Any EV content you want to know about, bring it up.
Thank you. Signing off for now. This has been
EV in the Sticks.